Well, hello guys, and welcome to what is going to be a little bit of commentary of what was the World Series, semi-World Series of course, semi-final between Eirkkk and DroGoN. So let me just start with introducing what this actually is. So a lot of you have heard of the World Series itself, which will be later in the year. Of course, I have won the last 3 World Series there, so yeah, getting the hat-trick was amazing. Whether I can get a 4th, I think the likelihood of that is definitely pretty low, but what we also have, and the naming can be confusing, so if you've just tuned in, and I know previously we've not done too many casts from the Semi-World Series, but yeah, there's actually also what we call a Semi-World Series. So Semi within 0 hour is essentially a categorization of player level. It basically, as we know, goes, well, master / expert, pro, if you like, and then the level below that is semi. And there's actually a lot of players in that category, so it's been quite a big tournament, this. Yeah, we do have 2 players in this semi-final, both from the ExSquad, so that's why I'm having a particular interest in casting this set, but also I'm going to do it in a flavour and in a style of what is representative within this channel membership. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a sales pitch. So my channel membership is actually the biggest in terms of numbers that it's ever been, so I appreciate everyone for your support within the ExSquad. And there's a bit of a trailer on the start of my channel. You get a private Discord group, we chat about things, I make videos with regard to build orders, I make videos with regard to masterclasses, if you like, whether that's micro, macro, how to control units. And another thing we do is what we call replay reviews. So members send in their replays, whether that's from tournaments, challenges, ladder games, and I review them and point out their mistakes basically and what they can do better. So this is actually a really fun one because firstly it's a tournament semi-final, so congratulations to both members for getting this far, well done. But also I've got a member against a member here, so I'm going to be trying to look at tips both ways, as well as kind of doing like a cast as well. So yeah, this is public, and for viewers that are not members, you're getting a taste on what replay reviews look like. And we've got an extra treat in about 10-ish minutes, I would say, which is that Spalding is going to be joining as well to give his input, strategic input and review on this too. So yeah, lots of good things are going to happen in this. So we're going to jump in to game number 1. I'll probably do 1 game without Spalding. He just needs a little bit of time. And then we'll have Spalding on board as well. So game number 1. And the replays are literally all over the place. So one thing I am not is organised techie. But we'll jump in and we will check this out. So we have, and we will introduce the players first of all. We have in the pink Mr. Eirkkk with the USA super weapon, and in the north we have DroGoN with the USA vanilla. There seems something really slow about my camera. Don't know what's happened there, why that's actually moving around slowly, but yeah, oh well. Yeah, so USA Mirror can be a pretty volatile matchup. Players at the moment look like they're going for 2 supply, a bit of a MD drop, 3 MDs and a dozer maybe, it's quite meta. And then you spam a little bit of infantry at home behind this. Now, actually Eirkk's gone for a drop. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this because already he's delaying 1 Chinook in order to get this extra Chinook out. I am preferring the look of DroGoN's build here, especially with the laser lock. And also the fact that Eirkkk is super weapons. So yeah, definitely not the best build opening here, and he's not pulling his Chinooks. He's focusing on this. Right? Both players lose a Chinook. So this is typically something, if you're watching like an expert set, the players are more on top of like moving their Chinooks. So that's something both players need to look at here. I appreciate that early phase of the game when you're dropping yourself and being dropped is actually super... is super difficult. Alfie says camera does that on replays. So thank you very much, Alfie Ace. And yeah, I have no worry to increase that. It was just I was worried I'd broken something. If that's normal, then I'm happy. Welcome, Hot as Chili in the chat as well. Just to let you know, guys, that this is all in association with Game Replays. So if you want to check this tournament out, this tournament bracket out, there is a link in the description. And for the newer player, the newer viewer, or the casual player in Zero, don't think that just because you're not pro or expert that you can't play tournaments, and certainly that you can't do well in tournaments, because semi-tournaments and events, there are a lot of them, and for good prize money as well. So I don't think there's any other RTS game I know where... And nice crush here, by the way, and reaction to that. Yeah, I don't think there's any other game I know where all sort of players have a chance at doing well in tournaments and winning prize money. I'll give you an example. In StarCraft 2, there's different categories in that. So there's basically bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and grandmaster is the top 200 players within your server. So I was playing on the European server, of course, so that includes all of Europe. Now, the best ranking I ever got was like, well, it was grandmaster, but say like 150 in Europe, top 150, and I earned a grand total of 0 prize money in StarCraft 2. So yeah, that is something unique to Zero. Now both players have taken a lot of damage here. This is a scrappy USA mirror, to say the least. But after what looked like a really bad start for Eirkkk, he's now getting a V into DroGoN's base. Needs to move that Chinook. Does move that Chinook. Combi says, how about Red Alert 2? I think there are a lot of players in Red Alert 2 as well. I don't quite know how they structure the tournament scene there, whether it's like pro-only event or not. But yeah, this is exactly what you need to be doing, what Eirkkk is doing now, which is, yeah, getting those MDs on top of the production. DroGoN knew that he couldn't actually deny that in the end. And as I say, after what was a really good start for DroGoN, and that's going to be reflected in the end eco here, Eirkkk actually came away with the win. So I think the big fail there was that big blob drop that DroGoN did that failed, got run over, and he lost his Chinook. I actually just think if he'd have dropped a War Factory after the start, he probably would have won that game, to be honest with you. So yeah, interesting stuff, really. But there we go. Alright, well, let's jump into the reverse of this. Just checking if Spalding's ready yet. Not quite yet, that was a fast replay, so we'll do game number 2 of the USA Mirror. I'm sure Spalding would share my thoughts. Let's check my, keep out an eye on chat as well. I've got like no delay, guys, so I can interact with you. Guy said, I'd love to watch you try out a new RTS game they haven't really played before to see how you learn. Yeah, I mean, RTS is my favourite type of game. The only issue with that is time, and when you're a granny like me and having as little time as I've ever had really to play, it is tricky, that, isn't it? That's the only thing. It is tricky. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, you need to invest time, I feel, to learn a new game. I think when you understand the basics, well, more than the basics, we use Vivid as an example, to then maintain a super high level, you don't necessarily have to invest a ton of time, but I think initially, and even, you know, Vivid, he has played the game for a while, it does take a bit of time to just get yourself familiar with all the strats. Anyway, we see the reverse, where we have Eirkkk in the north with the USA, and DroGoN in the south with the super weapon. So like I would do in my channel membership videos, I'm going to be checking build orders. This is literally what I say. I'm going to check the build orders and the execution. Now I actually have to say, as when both players have been super weapon this game, like Eirkkk in the reverse and DroGoN in this one, they both rushed a war factory. Now, you don't need me to tell you that super weapon Humvees are the most expensive. So if you're going to do that build, it's better to do it with any other USA than actually super weapon. So yeah, and actually we have Eirkkk just going for a standard build here as well. So yeah, I think both the players' builds and choices with regard to super weapon and how this matchup's been played has not been optimal. That's going to be the first thing I say here. Hello, Sporting. I'll jump in call with you just after this one. So we're just doing a couple of USA mirrors here. The first one was pretty quick. What I will say though with DroGoN is the build is actually clean. This is a build order that I've shown on my channel, and as I say, although it doesn't sync totally best with super weapon, it is actually going to mean he's getting 2 oils here. Let's put it on a bit of pressure as well. Yeah, 1 MD gets quite quickly cleaned up here. But yeah, Eirkkk this time very fast on pulling his Chinooks, but actually needs to get them back on that right side a little bit quicker. Yeah, so again, this is what I call like an unforced error. We've seen the players struggling with moving their Chinooks instantly in game number 1. We're seeing it already a little bit here. Now, what does that fall under? I guess it is multitasking, isn't it? You're controlling your units and trying to micro your units, and at the same time, you've got to quickly switch this. Now, one thing I know Spalding's recommended, it's not something I do, he's actually told me to do it, but I'm just a granny whose habits are hard to change, but I know, and I'm pretty sure Spalding does himself, but he's told me to actually number your Chinooks, so control and then a number, because then that way you can actually pull them quickly. I think that's correct, Spalding, you're in the chat, so that is actually a really good tip if you want to be a little bit quicker on top of this. But yeah, once again, DroGoN's gone for like this second follow-up big drop, which I don't know how much I'm a fan of. I mean, what you typically see at this stage is it more being about V harass, and if you were going to drop, I think I'd rather a V be dropped than another bunch of infantry. It's dropping that second supply now, but this is exactly what we need to be seeing. Sort of harass from 2 sides. The only issue is there is a fire base that he didn't finish off and 2 MDs in position, so he may actually just lose to this blob coming across the maps. Trying to utilise the buildings here. Eirkkk very wisely drives past this, and once again we have a very empty looking base here. Now, Eirkk's been drawn to the army, and no need to be drawn to the army. I mean, yes, he may clear this up because there's no MDs in these Tovies, but really, it's all about just getting on top of the Chinooks. That V did go down, actually. So we're seeing a quick 2-0 here from Eirkkk. And I think a lot of this has been down to the sort of, after the initial build order interaction, Eirkk's sort of follow-up has been better in both games, whereas DroGoN's gone for like a secondary drop that's really not achieved much, and literally then just not had enough to deal with the Vs that move out. Liked he dropped a couple of MDs off here. Hello Joe GG, welcome. And the War Factory has gone down, and that will be no more Vs for DroGoN because he is actually hunted as well. So Eirkkk is in a bit of a situation where if he does hit level 3, Pathfinders mean he's 100% guaranteed to win the game. Decides to gun down this oil. Gets an MD as well. Should get the second MD. He does. Can kill the barracks, which will give him a nice bunch of XP too. DroGoN still hanging on in there. The CC's already being built. I like that. He's valuing his own dozer. Still a little bit of a way for level 3, but it's a timer, isn't it? And of course, Eirkkk should really invest in flashbangs now until he reaches that stage, because between Tovies and flashbangs, it then is very difficult when you can only spam infantry to deal with both the Tovie and the flashbangs hitting your infantry. Eirkk's quite happy to just pick off another building. That will get him, was that about 150 XP there? Pretty nice. Combi says green is faster but pink is better at strategy. Has seemed that way so far. Flashbangs have come in though, so actually wise choice from Eirkkk, who I have to say I do like his choices in the mid game. I think both of the openings have been not quite optimal build order wise. So when Eirkkk, when you're watching this, check out on my channel. There's some USA mirror build orders. Check them out, because if you clean your early game up, I like what you're doing after that early game. So there's one little tip for you there. Oh, hello Spell, welcome, long time no see. Yeah, this really is checkmate for DroGoN. So yeah, a pretty swift 2-0 lead to kick things off. And now, special part of the stream, we're going to invite... Yeah, there he is, the man himself, Mr. Spalding, to join us on this. And I will try and share my screen now. Often when the game's open a little bit, it can freeze. So let's just see if it works or not. I think it might have worked without crashing. That's good.
Alright.
There we go. Can you see everything okay?
I can see everything just fine.
Nice. So we've just had a USA super weapon. Eirkk's in a 2-0 lead, and we're on to number 3 now on Mountain Mayhem. Ah, perfect. Just in time for Eirkkk with the vanilla GLA. He's in the pink in the top left.
And DroGoN in the bottom right with vanilla GLA.
So yeah, so we're gonna have this twice as well.
I played this yesterday.
I was just about to say you did a very good masterclass on this last night. Yeah, it was literally a GLA mirror on here. So like I do with all my channel member videos, we look at build orders, and whose build order are you preferring at the moment? I would say DroGoN's.
DroGoN seems a bit more solid, yeah.
Yeah.
Got the supplies up a bit faster.
He did, yeah. Eirkkk seems to...
Trade-off is an early tunnel by Eirkkk.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What do you value more? Do you value... Well, believe it or not, DroGoN's actually still getting the faster tunnel.
Oh.
So I was going to say, do you value the supply or getting that little bit of map presence a little bit more?
I think it depends how much advantage you can take of the map control, but I guess map control can be really good if you kind of use it well. I usually like the money.
Yeah. Someone says, Almu says your voice is a little bit low. So I'm trying to figure out how to raise your volume. Don't know whether you could do that yourself.
I think you probably have to do that.
Okay.
Maybe you can turn up Discord or OBS.
Yeah. Now, Eirkkk actually had a terrorist rallied here, which he could have used to deny that.
Hmm. So the first technical by Pink seems a little bit slow, considering the other one's already halfway across the map.
He's actually put a second fake arms dealer there before getting his tech, so he's just literally focused on trying to box.
Yeah.
And it's kind of worked here, but yeah, no intention of doing any harassment himself, and yeah, he's pulled his workers, so it's a very defensive try and save my workers build, but I'm not sure how I like that in GLA mirrors. Yeah, he's lost some there as well.
I think you should look to harass a little bit yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just defend. I think just defending often turns out badly.
I'm going to have a play around because people keep saying the voice is low. Let me have a play around here. Now, when I'm not sharing my screen, I see where I can turn you up, but as it is now, I can't see it for some reason. Now, why is that? We can pause the replay while I have a fiddle around here. Why can't I see your volume button?
Maybe stop screen sharing for a second, but then you might crash.
Yeah. Alfie says right click on his name in Discord and you will see the volume slider. Okay. No, I don't see a volume slider. Unfortunately. Wonder if it's linked to the, as you say, the screen share. Might be. Just gonna stop streaming for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, that it was. Yeah. Okay. You're now at 115%. Check that out.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's louder.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's louder for the stream, not just for you then. Should be for both.
I've got like no delay, so yeah. And actually, what I'll do for safety, what I'll do for safety as well is I will share my screen, not my application. So you won't get the sound now, but you will still see the game. Yeah,
right.
We'll roll with that. So we'll continue.
Alright, now I'm not seeing anything, by the way. Now I do. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, it's working.
Ooh.
Oh. Another Fargo.
Messy on both sides. I mean, I have liked DroGoN's approach to this game. I think he's had a cleaner build, he's put some harassment in, and his immediate thought is to try and get, you know, control over contested oils, so... Whereas I feel like Eirkkk don't like that passive approach in GLA Mirror. Yeah, they're all saying it's better now. Nice.
Oh, perfect. Alright, we see DroGoN also taking his fast supply earlier than Eirkkk.
Yeah.
I think even if you don't plan on expanding just yet, I think you should already have a worker there as Eirkkk.
Yes, because then when you actually have the money and then you think about it, you've still got like a 10-second walk.
And you won't even know, like, if your plan is to expand and then you have no vision there might be a tunnel or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you would have rather spent that money elsewhere.
Yeah.
So you can't spend it on a supply anyway.
It's a win-win, isn't it? Gets you a bit of, how to say, scouting, if you like, and it's already there when you want to drop down the supply. Eirkkk is now the one pushing, but...
How many arms dealers is he on? Is he on 2 or 3?
He's on 2, yeah. Now, DroGoN's taken a dodgy engagement there, so not fighting by his tunnel and going into a concave. He has repopped. Could get a super tech here. Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah.
Got a couple of vetted quads though, the green guy might hold for them.
Oh, scrap quads, yeah.
Oh, there's more coming though.
Wow. 2 super techs. This is incredible to me because and you know, I was talking about what this tournament is and the semi-level categorization, but I would say at expert and higher games, the kind of start DroGoN has, more often than not, you would say it's a win for green. Yeah. And then literally, and you see this all the time in semi-level games, you think one player's basically got the win, and then something like this, like a fatal bad engagement happens, and all of a sudden the
I wonder what
tides
happened
turned.
for DroGoN. Was he late with his second arm stealer or something?
Because
in theory he should. Oh, he washed the palace as well, right?
Yeah, but he did have a.
But I wonder if he stopped unit production for a bit, because in theory he shouldn't get overrun. Like, he killed some workers of Eirkkk. So I don't think he lost any in return.
Yeah.
And he had the tunnel to defend.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe he
should have had more units.
Exactly.
So maybe.
Yeah. So I think.
Maybe.
I think possibly that's one factor. I think the other factor is he literally popped, went into a small funnel here whilst Pink was in a concave, and didn't fight by his tunnel. So
some splash damage by the RPGs, I think.
As well, yeah. He just took splash damage by the super tech as well.
needs to find a way to spend his money. Yeah, this is where like Eirkkk should already have been probably on 4 supplies. Either the 4 supplies or at least 2 oils. What's Eirkk's transition behind this?
Well, he has got his palace, but he's been very slow on the 4th supply. But he is getting a couple of oils. So actually, believe it or not, even though DroGoN's taken bad engagements and lost that supply, he's actually still ahead on economy. Believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Eirkkk now gonna try to clear this.
So they're each going to clear an oil here. I think he did make a couple of buggies, so I think you can get away with a bit of an in and out here to try and pick off a unit or 2.
Yeah, you do kind of outrange everything right now. I guess there are now buggies as well, until then. And there's 3 tunnels, so it kind of hurts a little bit to give up that spot so easily when you have 3 tunnels and an artillery platform there.
Yeah, gifting a lot of XP as well. Eirkk's nice and on top of his cash bounty, which is nice to see.
Do you think people should start selling their tunnels more often when they're not contesting like an area?
I think it's. I think when when you're getting attacked by that sort of size of an army, I think when you start to sell it, like it's just going to get gunned down. I think it's very rare.
You would probably have to start selling all of them at once.
And then it feels really bad to just like give up a position like that.
Right. You also get so little money back.
Yeah.
So it should probably only be done when it's like very certain that you're not gonna kill anything, and yeah. Even then, like sometimes you like just delaying the army a bit while you do other stuff.
Yeah. Abash in the chat says, "What is this?" Well, it's the Semi-World Series tournament. It's a replay cast, but it's actually 2 of my channel members, so it is also a little bit of a review for them as well. So yeah, you go, yeah. It's the sort of thing that normally happens in private, but we've made it public.
So,
well, I like the fact that he tried to go for a TT. I mean, DroGoN was on top of it, but I like the thought that he's thinking, I need to clear that oil. But has he been quite late on the market? Because he still doesn't have the buggy ammo. He does have the worker shoes. But despite it looking a bit edgy during that bad engagement, what we saw and noted with the map control, with the faster tech, with the better economy from DroGoN, he is now clawing it back a little bit.
yeah.
Again, here small things, but like this is just what I call unforced errors, and especially like a 3rd and 4th supply. Typically, this happens. Not enough workers on it.
Yeah, this is also something that, I don't know, I definitely criticized in the past, and we see it here again, where people, I think for no reason, rush the fortified structures.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, it doesn't help on your tunnels. If you're losing an arms dealer, say, to a couple of buggies, you probably have bigger problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually,
I
that's.
see this especially with team players a lot, and it never made sense to me, and it still doesn't.
What I'm really pleased with.
It's like an automatic upgrade for people. The palace finishes, they get the fortified structures, and
Yeah,
it just
well,
doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm really
It
like.
makes sense against China, of course, or like USA, but
Yeah. Well, DroGoN is not doing that, and his layout here, I'm actually very proud of, because he has said to me he's watched every single video on my private section. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. He's doing what you're saying. Eirkkk is actually Eirkk's actually a very new member, so we can forgive him. He may not have watched every video yet.
right.
Yeah. Ajam and Kel.
Oh, and got the scan upgrade.
Yeah. Well, he's brought the XP back. He's actually leading the XP now. He does have the rocket buggy ammo. Both players do. Yeah, I'm chronically quite late with junk repair as well. Neither player have the junk repair. Do you know how much the healing rate is? How much of a difference it makes?
No, I don't know the exact numbers.
No.
I think it also depends a little bit on your choice of strategies, how impactful it is.
Right.
Like, I think if you went 3 arms dealer spam, for example, which I think is kind of common as well in vanilla GLA mirrors,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense to get it. Since you
For
have more
what
units.
For what type of unit comp are you thinking? Like for
Well,
just
it's pretty nice for your scops and quads, right? If you keep
true.
pushing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think for if you mostly buggy spam, it's probably better to get the buggy upgrades
Yeah.
first.
But it is actually.
But at some point, I think it's really nice to get the chunk repair, especially on these new higher money maps.
I probably need to send him. Oh, he lost his Jarman there. Probably need to send a message from Jundi, which is how many buggy rockets can a buggy take before it gets taken down, with junk repair and without? What's the actual difference? Because
Yeah, I feel like in a buggy war, maybe the chunk repair doesn't have a lot of time to kick in.
it might not. No.
But what people need to consider as well with the chunk repair is like, whenever your unit is not dying, you're also denying like XP and money from your opponent via cash bounty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that effectively kind of reduces the price.
Spell says he's also a fan of ExCal's private videos. You naughty thing. We've not seen the Granny Spell for a while.
No.
I used to like his casts with radar. They were quite
I agree.
quite a roast, weren't they? Quite often.
Yeah, they had a funny way of casting.
Yeah. How did you enjoy your visit on Dommy's channel recently? That was casting me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was casting you. You guys could have made the set a bit closer.
Oh, sorry. I was a little bit up for that set. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Dommy seemed pleased to have you on, so that was nice. Might do more in the future. Yeah.
So
But-
yeah, DroGoN seems massive compared
Yeah,
to...
nice layout here, and Pink's looking a bit thin on the ground, really. He is making a second palace, though, which is something you don't see every day.
Right.
And that is intentional. I mean, that is because he knows he's about to get hit by a scud. I quite like the thought process there. Common target, of course, is the palace.
Maybe could have tried resetting the Scud as well, being vanilla GLA. I'm not sure.
I think he's trying right now. There is a saboteur. Yeah.
Here we go. Nicely done.
Oh, wow. There is a little... Oh, he might get it.
I think he does.
Oh, wow. And he didn't
That was pretty
fire.
clutch.
He could have fired. That feels so bad. Like, when that has happened to me before, you're like... In the future, you just end up spamming like 3 tunnels, stingers, and leaving a quad there, you know? You just think, yeah, I'm never letting that happen again.
Yep.
Look at Habash. Yeah, guys, there's
Shut on
basically...
me. Other monitor. Okay.
Yeah, there's basically no delay on chat, guys, so we can pretty much react with you instantly. Give or take us looking at the game and then reading the message, of course.
Truckster here as well. Learning from Eirkkk and DroGoN.
I mean, DroGoN realises he's ahead, but I still think you can be active with your buggies, no?
Yep. I mean, he's got all the upgrades, right?
Do you know what, you know when you're behind and in a GLA mirror and you're trying to like claw your way back and and one way of doing it is getting as much efficiency done with your buggies, like pulling back hit and runs. Do you know what
Right.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of StarCraft 2 when you're Protoss and you've gone for a heavy Blink Stalker sort of composition, and you think, actually I'm behind here, so you're just literally...
You need to stall time.
Yeah, you are microing your Blink like crazy to try and catch up, yeah. It's giving me Parting vibes, the famous guy for Blink Stalker micro.
Saboteur. That one might not.
Yeah, that should not. He's left a quad on guard mode. It's still not been taken down. He's unloaded. but I think he realises there's no way in here yet. The quad. I knew you said the stalker. The quad. The quad is on guard mode. Yeah.
So we now have got some building up for Eirkkk as well.
Don28 says, if I want to rank players, who would be your rank 17? It's hard to rank players outside of like the top 11, I think, to be honest with you. I think, yeah. Outside of the top 11, it's really just like, if anyone gets their act together a little bit, they can they can really rise through the ranks.
Which we have the first Godfire. Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, which we've seen with the biggest rises in the last 12 to 18 months, which has been like Tom Step and Lift Truck, right? At one point they were both kind of semis, and now Tom Step's a master and Lift is a high semi, so you can get there. Oh, I've set myself up for that one. Yeah. But yeah, DroGoN's closing this out by the look of it, unless, I mean, I can't see any way kind of...
These 3 buzzers are gonna hurt, yeah.
I mean, okay, I was about to say I don't see any way he doesn't win this, but he did just throw away all his buggies, but the buses are still going to do massive damage. And give him a lot of XP as well. It's like 200 a pop there. Getting him nicely on the way to level 5.
I like that too, trying to at least evac the last bus.
Now,
Buggy's chasing.
Yeah, Eirkk's gone for a bit of a quad spam with no AP bullets.
Yeah, I mean, now he's level 5 as well, DroGoN, so...
Yeah.
The man tracks, and that should probably... Oh. Maybe not the best sneak location.
Marco in the chat, welcome, says massive gap between top 5 and top 10, even bigger gap between 10 and 16, an astronomical gap between the top 16 onwards. Yeah.
Many gaps.
I mean, for a good 18 months now, there was kind of like a top 3 and a bit of a gap, wasn't there? But I do think Tom Steps closed that a little bit. I think Fargo's had a bit of a resurgence, closed that, and Big Size, depending on the day, I mean, it's a weird one, Size, isn't it? He can literally clap Tom Step like 7-1, and then a day later loses 7-0 to Marikar. He's like, it's very like up and down with Size, isn't it? Like his consistency somehow, yeah.
Depends a lot on the matchups as well, I think.
Probably, yeah. I mean, to be fair,
you give him China mirrors, he can.
Well, that is what he beats Tom Step in, like 7-1 in, yeah.
But you give him USA GLA and gets a bit dicey.
And he's struggling versus Shay all of a sudden, yeah. So we had a scud here, and I do not believe. What can I actually click on to tell if DroGoN's got the Anthrax beta upgrade or not? Because that does more damage to Scud Storms, and I'm not sure many people know that. Yeah, can I click? Oh, they're GPS. I need a score. Is he gonna pop? Oh, he's making. Oh, he does have it. Okay, he has all the upgrades, but somehow managed to not kill the palace. See
a couple of angry mobs now.
Yeah, Markar's saying there's a play style element as well with players that can sort of have a circular countering. And yeah, I mean when Marikar's entering a mid game with efficient mechanics not floating and you know his APM and Size is chilling floating 10k, he's gonna struggle, isn't he? In that sort of situation. But I think Size still has X Factor. He does things which you just are like, wow. Whether that's sometimes some excellent micro with techs or the famous Size quads, what he gets done with those. And I still maintain Size on a lower economy map where there's like multiple pathways to defend, like some map like Homeland Rocks is generally an absolute nightmare to play against when he's doing that harassment. Yeah, so it's interesting.
Only he can counter our playstyles.
So yeah, big DroGoN is on the scoreboard there, and he did look like he was going to win that from the get-go, from build order to harassment. But yeah, that engagement made it dicey all of a sudden. So yeah.
But yeah, despite the bad engagement, he still won. So goes to show that build orders are also quite important.
Yeah, look at this. Eirkk's actually going barracks first. I'm not a fan of that personally, unless you're doing something very specific like rushing oil on a map like, you know, well, the oil rampages, the liquid gold, things like that. But even so, we'll have to see here, because if he's not rushing oil, he is delaying his own economy. But maybe he's thinking to rally a terrorist here to actually get control. We'll see. DroGoN's done the exact same, which is a tried and tested build order. Getting those three supplies rolling. Yeah, so there's an early terrorist.
Okay, so might just be trying to protect his tunnel.
2 terrorists. The thing is, though, like, you do that now, right, because you think, I want the map control, but you could just go for the supplies, make 2 terrorists, and TT the tunnel later.
Right, so there is a terrorist that's probably going to stop that tunnel.
Just going to mute myself while I answer the phone, but you can carry on.
Okay, it's going to be a bit hard to carry on, because I will only see one part of the screen. Okay, you can, looks like you can still scroll. Seems like the tunnel's getting denied. What about the first technical again? Isn't DroGoN faster again? I mean, he should be, since he probably went supply first instead of barracks first. And here comes the tech chair that you talked about. Oh, worker getting stopped. Probably wants to finish that one. Where's the second technical by DroGoN? Should be coming any second. Here we go. Did he bring a worker? He did? But yeah, again, I guess this might be the first technical that Eirkkk is using aggressively. Looking to stop that.
Right, thank you for carry on. Yeah, if it's not the baby crying, it's getting phone calls. So has there been
And
much...
this is the thing, like, DroGoN supplies have been very exposed usually, but this is the first time Eirkkk actually tried to be aggressive and immediately killed, like, I don't know, 8 workers, 9 workers.
It's carried on, oh my word, yeah. And he's quicker expanding this game, so actually a noticeable improvement, I would say, from Eirkkk this game.
Yeah, maybe he realized that from the previous game.
And getting control there, yeah. I'm liking this reaction, actually. Definitely nice.
But do we see an Eirkkk considering the fast barracks we saw? Solely for the...
Yeah, it was solely for that, wasn't it, yeah. See ya, see you, Spell. He says, bye, Benz, yeah. Absolute Wisdom says, fun fact, in StarCraft replays you can actually see the chat of the players that they had during the games. Yeah, and the rewind feature and resume for replay is really good. Imagine if we had the resume from replay in Zero
That's
Hour.
probably the best feature, right?
Like
if
any...
there's ever a disconnect...
or mismatch, just resume, yeah, that would be epic. Someone's got to do that. Hello?
That is definitely a big mistake by Eirkkk. Like, not getting an RPG in the building, not repairing the oil.
Yeah.
And DroGoN should probably just crossfire it down as well.
And people might say, how do you get expert, how do you get master, but I mean, things like that actually cost you games. the higher you go up. Nice pop here though. Welcome Raging K in the chat. He says, why is Lift Truck not in this? Some good banter there.
DroGoN just threw down his palace, I think he did.
Oh! I was just thinking, am I seeing things? Yeah, he's just turned down his palace. What, I've not seen that one before.
1 on each.
Okay.
That's probably not too bad. But he needs to get either his third arm stealer or palace as well. Oh, he's expanding a lot.
Do you know how, if you do that, do you know what would be quite cool if you're going for this super fast get the money? If you went like 4 arms dealers and then just wanted to end the game, you know?
Right.
That would be quite cool to see if you see that sort of synchronization. It makes me think of StarCraft, you know, that it's very specific on the amount of economy, down to the very last worker you build in StarCraft 2, syncing with, you know, the type of timing attack you're going to do. And you look at Zero Hour and it's just like people can't even remember to make the right amount of workers, you know? the difference in, like, precision, if you like. Yeah. I think that's another reason why Vivid's so good. I mean, he is precise. We've said that with his clicks and his micros, but is pretty much every build order, although standard, is clean, isn't it? What he does.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Eirkkk could maybe try to distract his opponent a little bit before getting these tech tests in.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of failed tech tests by him, and
A fake tech maybe, and then the real one is always a good one.
I mean, I liked it by DroGoN as well. Got a quick radar ban. I think people. I mean, you don't want to get it too early, but at some point, I think it's just very helpful.
Yeah, if you've not got map pack or your
Like, there's a good chance. Later, when Eirkkk would have seen that one, for example, right? And then you
True,
it's
yeah.
already so worth it to have one.
Yeah, I was going to be naughty, but I'll keep it PG. Can't help it. Because it makes you awkward when I'm naughty. Right, so we have a battle bus being loaded up here.
Okay, needs to reclaim some map control. Hard to sustain being down the top right and bottom left.
But isn't it amazing, like, in both of these GLA mirrors, how the early game's gone and who's sort of been on top of a bit of harassment and then expanding. We've immediately said, yeah, this player's going to win. And in the previous game, it was DroGoN, despite nearly a throw with some terrible engagements. But this game, we were like, yeah, Eirkk's looking pretty good. And that's the way it's panning out. I mean, it just is spiralling. He's now dropping scuds, actually getting an extra arms dealer, getting more markets. Hasn't got workers' shoes yet. DroGoN is ahead in that sense.
How's the top right looking? Okay. Ooh, that might not be the top you're looking for, yeah.
And as I say that,
yeah, maybe could have tried to defend a bit more there, not via popping, but just maybe a stinger side as well, maybe a couple of demo traps, because you kind of know your opponent has to retake that supply, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna lose the game if you have the bottom left and top right. So you try to identify where they're gonna attack, whether it's the bottom left or top right, and
are you
down on defenses.
Are you expanding on the art of Kampong? We are happy camp.
Michael, I like that.
We like Kampong, yeah. This also you see a lot. I mean, if Eirkkk attacks now, fine, but you'll often see players that are actually like ahead and don't necessarily have to attack, just defend. They end up still attacking and also sometimes slowing the game.
Right.
I mean, imagine if he drives these buses into this demo trap, for example. Like, that would be... Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see Eirkkk send out a couple more workers sometimes. Try to get a bit more map control.
Shouldn't allow stuff like that. I mean, that artillery platform's just annoying. And there's two of them.
Cornering himself at this point, Eirkkk.
Yeah.
He's not trying to expand his territory. That rebel in the right side of the map might have as well been a worker starting a tunnel, for example.
Yeah. But just by trying to...
Because at that point, when he decides to not defend the top right, like if he had more map control, maybe he could have like counter-attacked somewhere else, cleaned the tunnel on the left side.
But just by, as I say, struggling against this artillery platform, he lost a full bus, nearly his Jarman. Fortunately for him, did get DroGoN's Jarman, so it did work out in the end, but could have just lost bus and Jarman for free, actually.
Pretty big XP difference between the two, though.
Yeah.
I do like the relatively early scud by Eirkkk.
Well, he's hit a demo trap.
Ooh.
And that could not really have gone much
That
better.
last was empty.
It was, yeah.
It is.
Could not have gone much better for DroGoN, who...
Maybe
Yeah.
could have also done... Oh, that's a bad pop. Looks like he's panicking a bit.
Yeah.
Probably should also... I don't know, if you have... He hasn't really attacked in a long time, so maybe that one attack you should try to focus a bit more on in his shows. Like have the empty bus up front, for example. Maybe scan as well.
I mean, I was just thinking before it popped, this was never going to work. Attacking into 4 tunnels with like 3 quads, even though they're like scrapped, it's just... You're just
sometimes get a bit excited.
Yeah, you get
after
excited.
They won an engagement. It's like they want to keep going.
It's the Han Solo moment, isn't it? Chasing 50 stormtroopers just because you've had a good engagement and then thinking, actually, let's start running the other way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, really protecting that one.
Have you been keeping up with chat? I've not actually been keeping up with chat. Oh, Daniel says it'd be nice to see Vivid's point of view. Ask him to make a YouTube channel. He actually does have a YouTube channel. He has streamed a few 1v1s and 2v2s of his POV. So check it out. Just zero our, I think, Vivid. Just Google, put it into your YouTube search. It should come up.
Mr. Mojo, hello, hello. I was gonna say I would also love to see you win a 2 versus 2 set, but I think it's 1-1 now.
Yeah. So Eirkkk is having no oils, whereas DroGoN has 2. So what looked like a favourable position for Eirkkk, having that top right, now that he's been kicked off that, has this now switched, would you say?
Seems so, yeah. I think DroGoN's macro in general seems a bit better than Eirkk's, considering how far Eirkkk was ahead.
Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, it should have been kind of over when Eirkkk had the top right and the bottom left, I think. There was a very small window for DroGoN to take that supply back, which he managed to do, but he was definitely in a worse spot.
He's throwing away battle buses again. I mean, do you not just go buggies at this point in GLA Mirror? Do you really commit to buses?
I mean, it's a pretty good map for it, right? Because it's really flat, the terrain, there's not many hills.
No.
The only annoying part is like bottom left and top right, like that little plateau. But I think everywhere else, buggies seem pretty good on this.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you are sneaking into the base like we saw in the previous game and you can do a bit of a run by, buses are pretty good at deleting buildings and getting in awkward positions where the buggies can panic and funnel in and you can get a good trade, but yeah, you don't want them out in the open really.
Yeah, I feel like buses gain a lot of value once you approach level 5 again for the sneak attack. Just so much better to sneak buses than buggies.
Yeah.
Even AP people at quad sometimes become relevant again. But now we see DroGoN or Eirkkk trying to kill that out. I mean, this is why I think a lot of the experts try to tear these oils pretty early, because the longer the game goes, the harder it gets.
And it's also typically like, it's amazing that DroGoN's over here, because I would say if I was Eirkkk right now trying to kill this oil versus like Marika or something, he would be in and out popping and you would just be taking awful trades, and to actually commit to kill the oil you risk losing your whole buggy army. And as I say, for some reason DroGoN's over here killing like 1 tunnel and he's kind of lost his oil in the stage we're at now relatively for free. He's also
kind of parking there.
yeah. He lost his other oil to the Scud.
So did he Scud just the oil?
Yeah. And I guess maybe a tunnel or something that might have been around here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of scudding just an oil. But maybe he had no scans or no vision. I feel like.
Does he have the radar van scan? Let's see. He does. But I think he only has the one van. And I typically like to get like 3 or 4 at this stage just to have a look what's going on in my opponent's base. It's also handy later on for potential sneak targets. The alternative to not making radar vans is ask the guy casting your set to have a low stream delay, and then you can just have the others. You can just have the stream on your second monitor and
have your radar van on your second monitor.
Yeah. I've been well behaved. I wanted to put a bit of an edgy one in there. I've had a busy week. So I could be more edgy than that, but I won't be at the moment.
So again, DroGoN pushing Eirkkk back a little bit there. Quite far ahead in XP as well now.
I like how DroGoN's getting like all the upgrades, AP bullets, whereas Eirkkk once again is going to a bit of a quad switch, but doesn't have AP bullets.
Yeah.
For me, this has been a bit of a throw from Eirkkk, really.
Empty palace as well, I think.
Yeah, bit of a throw. 2-2.
Yeah, I think Eirkkk should have won that one.
Well, until that game just now, I would say Eirkk's had the better engagements throughout this set. Whereas DroGoN's had the better build orders and decisions, maybe. But then the one game here in that GLA mirror where...
I was so happy, by the way, that I saw on the left side the other guys, at least USA, and not another guy.
Yeah. Well, we have a GLA stealth down in the south for Eirkkk. Ooh.
Oh, we got a super weapon.
Yeah, that's perked you up. Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
At this level, I think this tends to be quite a 1-1 matchup. I just think Stealth's probably going to win both ways here. I don't know the score, result, or outcome of any of these games, so I'm seeing it for the first time like you are. But
I think.
We shall see.
I mean, for most people, I think Super Weapon is just a worse USA, right? They play it the exact same way with more expensive Humvees.
Yeah.
And so it's only logical that it doesn't perform very well.
But also, as much as we say V's are an overpowered unit, the lower you go down in player level, V's suddenly look more balanced, you know? Like, let's go below semi, let's go like beginner to noob level. Like, a loaded Humvee can end up dying to one gap, you know?
Right. They probably get countered by like nuke Battlemaster and stuff.
Yeah. Whereas the higher up you go, 2 Vs can win a game against
I like that.
tank.
By DroGoN, I think that's a nice building to secure.
Yeah. And he's actually timed it. Little bit unlucky that the pathway of that tech was right in line with the MD actually. So it's ended up quite bad.
It hurt him so much that he was late to put that MD inside.
Yeah, he lost the dozer. At minimum 2 MDs because there was something in that V as well.
Right, and still doesn't have that building.
And he only killed 1 tech. But as I say, I think he was unlucky because when he started to laser log, it was literally in the line the tech was driving. A little bit unlucky there. Might get hunted now.
Oh, it does look
not quite.
Very close. These RPGs are going to be annoying.
That's good. Decides to clear the barrels rather than park there and maybe lose all the RPGs. Now, if you get in that position, you can quite often trap the Vs that come and clear you up. So say a couple of Vs go up here, you then just pop your 4 techs and then sandwich it and it's often GG. He is dropping out third supply.
Now that you see the USA move the Chinook, I think put at least 1 RPG in that building on the top right as the GLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you. Third supply, saying
I
Darmstealer.
think I'd like an RPG there, and you can even make one quad at this stage, just to keep your opponent on one supply, essentially. He's going for the dozer hunt. Do they look like my channel members?
They do. He can crush that one though.
Ah, I didn't get it. Got to improve the dozer hunt.
Well, DroGoN has a bit of an army. Not the biggest one, but...
Well, what you have said at the start is absolutely correct, that people play Super Weapon like a worse USA, because it is looking like DroGoN wants to push. But arguably on this map as Super Weapon, do you have to push? Could you just try and hold your position and get up to a strat center?
Right, and should pushing really work very often? Because, I mean, if pushing with Super Weapon worked very often here, Vanilla USA would be completely broken, right?
True, yeah, yeah. Back to Chinooks getting damaged now. It's a rough situation to be in, it is.
Yep.
He's dropping a couple of rangers now.
Okay.
But Eirkkk, I mean, he's got that comfy setup where you're on 3 supplies and you're spamming text, but he's late getting a palace with that float, and he's also late getting his own oil.
Get the oil as well.
Yeah. But I think he's... I've got a feeling he's watched a video recently.
Bit of camper.
Yeah, there's the palace. I mean, small
This
thing.
is posed,
I was
actually,
literally about to say it. When you're in the heat of a tournament game and you think, "Oh, my palace," it's easy to then just drop it with the worker you happen to be looking at. But it would be much better to be back here somewhere, right? in terms of safety, or even like
And
here.
I think in Shadow, like on the left side again, could be running up a worker there by Eirkkk. I think that's one thing he's consistently been neglecting.
Get a position set up.
Send more workers out, try to get some tunnels up.
I mean, I actually like how DroGoN has not just headbutted this line of defense, and he is trying to get a strat set established.
Yeah. Bit of a... I mean, you're killing Whis and you have a bunch of supplies.
If he'd have got that one, I think it would have been okay.
Would have been great.
But...
I mean, he still reset a lot, but it was a bit of a risky engagement where he was just running into the USA.
Oh, look, he's getting his CC before his airfield.
This is definitely bad.
Yeah.
You gotta get alphas at this stage.
Yeah.
This is... Who cares if you're not getting 100 if without alphas? Like, it takes you way too long to...
Just gives Eirkkk so much time, doesn't it? Yeah. Look at this! I think I need to change my playlists on my membership videos to just a camp playlist, a hunt playlist.
Yeah, and I think DroGoN, I mean, I know it's not easy, but like, if the only thing you have going for you is like 3 Humvees and search and destroy, maybe try to clear a little bit of the map. See if you can.
Yeah, only issue is though, if
tunnels.
you're here and we just saw that TT, he could pop and just go around the back, and if he gets your strat at that point.
Upgrade.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
This is where Eirkkk being late on the palace and that oil's actually hurting him a bit now.
I mean, did he keep building techs because he lost a bunch of techs and his palace is finished?
Yeah, he's getting buggies
another
now.
tech in front of his arms dealer, but yeah.
It's one of those where if you floated
maybe when
and queued up like 3 techs, it just happened to be building still.
Okay,
I mean, I've done that where I've then cancelled techs when the palace, from my production, when the palace is made.
Another tech tower being prepared.
And the EMP camp is starting, but this
That
TT
is gonna get in.
Yeah. Oh, Oh yeah.
Almost.
Oh, the top.
That is over. Yeah.
Oh my word. How a game gets lost in 5 seconds.
And I mean, this showcases what we were talking about as well. You got your CC now, but your alpha was late, and well, you don't get 100, but the game's effectively over. Normally, no.
Yeah. But Eirkk's like, he's not pushing with buggies and Jarman, or even the odd quad, which I don't know.
His money on.
And he is, I don't actually know. It must be units and like stinger crawl basically to keep the super weapon off this supply, which is okay. Oh, that was a misclick.
Yeah.
Because if you keep super weapon on this and kill the oil, I mean, you can outcamp them, especially with the reset that you've done there.
Oh, not sure about the investment of Comanche either.
That's probably how to say, a stressed reaction to what just happened there.
Could be it.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, Eirkkk doesn't get fortified structure this game, but I'd argue you'd want to get it because a super weapon,
Yeah,
you know, a
more
Spectre
important
and
against
a
super weapon than in a GLA mirror. Also, I think a burn would have been nice, like this. They are cheaper for super weapon, and he did have his threat center for a bit.
But very passive with the alphas. I mean,
Yeah, also if you are DroGoN in this position, like you should check your XP bar, right? And being that close exactly to level 3, you want to get to level 3.
so now you can Spectre the oil, now you can maybe A10 like that stinger whilst continuing to alpha bombard these other tunnels out.
It's also a crazy float by DroGoN considering the position he's in.
Yeah, you'd like to see a particle and a drop zone, something like that?
Yeah, probably a couple more alphas as well. You need, like, eventually you probably need to clear GLA of that dirt supply, I think, of yours.
Now, do you know, Eirkkk has been chronically late with worker shoes. He's been on a palace for ages and he's not on worker shoes. He actually got buggy ammo and not worker shoes.
Is he getting a Scud Storm mark? Okay, so
No, that's a command center. Oh, the lack of worker shoes is upsetting me actually.
especially on that many supplies.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a scolding DM for that. Is he on cash bounty? He's on cash bounty. Just literally forgotten shoes though, by the look of it. There can be a rare case where you think you've clicked on it and didn't have enough cash at the time, and therefore think you got it, but I don't know. I mean, you're looking at your market for surely other upgrades as well. I mean, he's got AP bullets, AP rockets. Oh, now he has shoes. Now he has shoes.
Good habit to check your supplies every now and then during the game. See if you have enough workers everywhere. See if you have worker shoes.
Yeah. So he's got a particle. He is getting a drop zone.
Yeah. I mean, both players seem to generally have the right idea of what to do.
Yeah.
There's small things they should change. For example, I think in Eirkkk now should probably get a Scud Storm over black markets.
I also don't like the way he's allowing that oil to be alive when he has a pretty decent position to rally up there with, you know, a couple of quads to get rid of this Comanche and then try and get a TT in or something. Oops.
Oh.
Whoops.
Ouch. Oh, he
lost
these.
He lost all the alphas, yeah. I think one of the most...
DroGoN's reloading a little bit too much for my liking in that state.
I think a very fun game situation to be, because you do almost have to not make any errors as a super weapon. But this could even be a team game when you're like a rich super weapon on alphas and particle camp and fully camped with your mates, and you're against like multiple GLA with Scud Storms and this sort of setup everywhere. I think that is actually a very fun situation within 0 hour to play out.
I agree.
Yeah, so no fortified structure here. That market's going to go down pretty quickly. And actually, that Spectre was damaged. With fortified structure, he may have actually saved that market, at least to the hole.
Mm. Yeah, but this is where I think a super weapon is so much more threatening if your opponent, instead of like 2 of these black markets, had 1 Scudstorm. Because you know, as soon as the Scudstorm hits the top left...
Yeah, it's like GG, yeah.
And also in terms of like EMP positioning, I feel like 1 EMP on the right side makes it so hard for GLA to take their duel, where the Humvee Blub is right now.
That sort of area.
Yep.
It's amazing though, isn't it, how it goes from looking good for one player and then you think, oh, there's a few alphas and a particle here, and then he loses all the alphas on the way back and then loses his oil, and all of a sudden you're thinking it's over again. Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
oh no, look at that. Misclick with the alpha.
Yeah, he's losing his alphas a little bit too easy there. I mean, that's the thing with super weapon. Like, I don't think it's that weak actually, even though it probably has the lowest win rate out of all armies. But you cannot afford to make many mistakes with it. Everything is so costly.
Yeah. But it's oh, there's a Burton there. It's up there with one of my favourite armies though, super weapon.
Yeah, same here.
I think my order would be, I always say air and stealth are my favourite 2, like my top 2. But yeah, then super weapon could be up there. So that was game, what are we up to? That was game 5. We have a 3-2 lead. So we're now seeing the reverse.
We're kind of expecting the stealth to win again, but let's see.
Yeah. So we've got Eirkkk up in the pink super weapon.
DroGoN in the green stuff at the bottom. Sending out a bit of an early worker. Often the third worker, I think, goes to the second supply. He sends it forward.
Yeah. We kind of know what's going on in the north of the map, so
right.
Might as well look at the workers.
Tempting as a response to send the dozer from your second supply on the left forward, see if you can stop that.
I honestly am not sure though. 99% of the players are even watching the order of the workers coming out of the GLACC. You're getting a little bit technical now. Yeah.
I guess he's either not boxing or boxing in the top left, considering the... Okay, I don't mind that actually. Can be fine. It's an easy area to cover. And there's a dozer drop.
Would you like a quote from Vivid? He said this to me.
Okay.
Because we know he likes this matchup, doesn't he? USA GLA.
Yep.
And his GLA in it is just, yeah, disgusting. But his USA, he says he likes to mix up. It's the Marikar joke. Which side of the supply he'll box on. Likes to mix it up from game to game.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm also not sure about Eirkk's Chinook there, by the way, because I think he dropped the dozer, went back with the dozer, okay, and now he's flying around. I mean, it's not too bad because I guess, but did he really know there's no tunnel there? Because if there was a tunnel in the RPGs, I feel like he would have just wasted a lot of time with his Chinook. I guess, unforced error a little bit there against just a Humvee with a Hellfire Drum. Probably don't need to lose your technique.
No, he could have kept driving around and saved it. But I do like the TT on Super Weapon Reactor though. It is a pricey
definitely
reactor to rebuild.
And talking about Vivid, I think that's one thing he is very good at. Like, he preserves his technicals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it can make a difference. Like, if there's 4 instead of 3 technicals here, you kill that Humvee quite a bit faster.
Yeah.
Oh, needs to be on top here. I mean, can you click on the zombie on his name? Like, how many units he has inside, actually.
2 and 2, yeah.
Because I think often your first response should be at least unload 1 MD and start laser locking the technical.
Yeah,
Makes it a bit
always nice to deal with the tech. Oh, 2 of those were Rangers actually in there.
Okay.
That's not necessarily a bad thing to deal with RPGs.
Yeah.
But he's loaded them back up again.
A little bit slower there with the ambulance, not healing the Humvees, not cleaning that up quickly. Yep. Does he have them in a control group? Because it's weird. It was a little bit weird to me that.
How do I see that? Spectate?
Yeah, he doesn't have one.
No control groups.
You would see a number over that.
Oh yeah.
Like you see on
the barracks is 2. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's incredible to me.
That's probably the reason why these units weren't synced up.
That's incredible. He doesn't have a control group. Wow.
Like click on DroGoN. You see it, like, the one. So I think even though it's annoying to get used to, I think it's one thing you need to get used to.
He needs to change that. That's another message he's getting. He needs to change that. Yeah.
You don't need like 6 or 7 control groups, but at least for your main army.
Oh wow, how is he even? So he's having to like drag box over this every time, and then you can't even micro them back because you're drag boxing over them. Right. Ooh, I do not like that at all.
And the main, I mean that's already a big issue, but I think the main issue is if something else is happening elsewhere on the map, how do you get back to that army? Like you have to go all the way back to your army.
Oh my word.
Really so I think, all criticism aside, I think what Eirkk's doing now is good, if he actually does push, because I think he's lost a bit in the early game here.
Yeah.
And the one thing he didn't lose a lot of is actually his army here.
Mm-hmm.
So always think about where your advantages are in the game. I think he's almost a bit too hesitant there for my liking.
Yeah.
Like when you already have 3 full Humvees and an ambulance in front of the tunnel, it's unlikely ExCaL can even still pop.
No, just get rid of it. He went back because he got a bit concerned about a TT killing his barracks and almost hunting his dozer. Welcome B Legacy to Wood, by the way. Oh, this is awkward. What is that dozer doing? And look at this. Well, something Vivid would do is just drop a couple of RPGs off there whilst he's dancing around with these techs. Just so freaking annoying,
Yeah, because I mean, you kind of control that area, but the USA is still mining.
Yeah, so it's like you might as well not be there, yeah.
And that's another reason why I thought Eirkkk needed to get more done, because he didn't rebuild his second Chinook on the right supply. Maybe he did now, but yeah, okay. I think there was only one for a while, and I think if you don't rebuild the Chinook immediately, you definitely gotta push and make something happen. And a third reason is I think if you invest into that many Hellfire drones, they don't scale very well. Like you need to take advantage of them. And
the only time I tend to get them is when I'm like fully committed and I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, oh, I need to get something done. I have 2k left. Let me get 4 Hellfire.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I want to win or get critical damage with this push. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
But in Eirkk's shoes, if you're not pushing, I mean, all it does is really like delay the powerful tools you have, the sweats and the...
Yeah. Alright, TT's the supply. I mean, there's an argument to preemptively TT the oil and just park a quad up there, but I think it's fine regardless. I mean, this amount of techs, he's on a palace behind this. Forgot to get his oil though.
Yeah, I mean, probably don't need to engage the Firebase and the Search and Destroy Humvees.
No.
He's feeling himself, yeah.
B Legacy says, thank you for the undercovers, ExCaL as ... My new favourite stuff to watch, yeah. Cheeky undercovers.
Oh, that's a traffic jam.
Oh, that is not where you want to go with those.
Traffic jam on both sides.
For balance. Last
Yeah,
Drop
this
is
really
saying
hurts.
that Mr. Amar, Google, used to say Hellfire drone on Humvee is useless. I actually think there's a place for them. I think when you do that...
I think in general blanket statements are pretty useless. To be fair, I think there's definitely spots where it's good, there's spots where it's bad. I think
Yeah,
generalizing. I think in general,
I 100%
doesn't
agree.
matter.
You know, if you are pushing with 4Vs and an ambo and you're hitting that timing where you want to get on top of the GLA's production, this is well before Palace stage, and or do critical damage, you know, win the game from that situation. How many times have like just one or two techs won the game or one or two Vs just survived? And sometimes that extra Hellfire drone DPS can make the difference. It can, you know, add damage. It can also tank some damage if it's RPGs there. So
Right.
I think there's a
I
place
mean,
for them.
sometimes you also get rid of the RPGs quickly. Like the GLA goes for a tech RPG block. And
Yeah.
you defend that well.
Yeah.
And I think then after that, Hellfire drones become really good again against quads, for example,
I like this
or,
one.
or technicals.
Yeah. I like that, by the way. He's cleared that a lot quicker than Eirkkk did in the reverse.
Yeah.
And now we're up to quite a few
Like
buggies.
Saying 20 technicals, only 2 left.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I think at some point you kind of want to trade off your technicals as GLA.
It's like
Once you have a palace.
it is like tier 1 units in StarCraft. And of course in StarCraft there's a supply cap. So people actually just trade off their tier 1 units badly if they're ahead in economy, especially, to then replace it with better units. And it's kind of like that in this matchup, how even if you're trading like 7 techs for 1 V, when you're this far ahead, you're kind of okay with it because you're about to go buggy, quad, Jarman, and this game's over. There's a literally...
Very patient sector.
I feel like there was a bit of chat going on in game at that point because everything just stopped for a second. So it's a back and forth set at the moment. We're up to 3-3. And we're now on the Dralim Desert. And it is no GLAs, which is nice to see. It is a China against USA.
That's a good one.
I like this matchup, yeah. China does actually have a few options, doesn't it? Some people like to do the 2 supply, war factory, airfield, the Gatlick's approach, bit aggressive. Others like a bit of an oil grab, slower approach, which...
Yeah, and even with the barracks, I think there seem to be 2 approaches. One is just like defensive tank hunters with a couple of bunkers and later oil, and other people try to get the oil right away.
Yeah. Straight red guard. And what will this be? A war factory. Okay. Is that the best supply placement? Feel like you want to line it up to the 3 crates, though.
That's the best one.
Bit off here as well. Now, what is kind of meta these days is to chuck a bunker there.
Right, put 1 tank hunter maybe in it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily, but yeah, just definitely get a bunker
But
there.
yeah, you can see this dozer's coming to deny this with the bunker there and certainly a tank hunter. That can't happen.
Yep.
He's actually gone for a bunker here. Not sure with that.
Yeah, that seems a bit optimistic to capture the oil like that, but here comes a tank hunter.
And actually, DroGoN's made a bit of a mistake with that first V.
Oh, I dislike that by DroGoN.
That.
Yes.
Yeah. But he also danced around here with his V rather than he saw the ore grab. He should have been down here with it, though, denying this oil.
Yep. But why do you need a fire base against 1 war factory, 1 barracks, vanilla China in the early game?
Yep.
When he's going for an oil cap even.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at his army. You have more Humvees than the China has Gatlings and outposts right now.
And it is a timer because Eirkkk is dropping his airfield. Black Napalm MiGs are going to be on the way.
And I mean, that 1k could have been your own capture upgrade, could have been anything that you just spent on a firebase that you didn't need. I guess you need it if you for some reason ignore the China army. When
He's basically all in now, because this Gat can still park here and probably deny the Chinooks. These Vs have to do ridiculous damage. Yeah, look.
But it's all very contradicting. Like you're all inning while building a fire base, and you're all inning when you, I would say, have the better army.
He also lost a V to a Gat or two there. Now here the MiGs, there's 3 of them. The Napalm is no doubt researching because there's no, there's just kicked in.
Okay, pretty decent hits there.
Yep. So not only, okay, he didn't lose any Chinooks, but he's been effectively mining off 1 supply, whilst this push has been cleaned up. Yeah. Eirkk's on 2 oils, could get a 3rd supply if he wanted as well.
Could have maybe tried to pick up that MD and drive next to the airfield with the ambulance.
But yeah, this is over. I mean, I will fast forward a bit of this downtime here, because in my mind this game's over. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, Vanilla China is definitely way ahead. I think it's going to be hard for the USA to come back.
He's adding an Avenger.
I also don't like this now. You said he's 100, right?
Nope.
Oh, he's not 100. Okay, never mind then. But the oil grab does seem a bit late to me.
Right.
He seems a bit indecisive whether he wants to all in or actually play out a game.
Yeah. Well, if, as you say, if he hadn't have made the firebase, just dealt with that push with his army, got the faster oil grab, you accept the China's going to be on MiGs, but you say, that's okay, I'm going to be on 2 oils, I'm going to take an extra supply as well, I'm going to spam Tovies and Avengers, and I know that if I get them en masse, I'm still got a better army than you.
Right, you can probably win that matchup being 3 versus 4 supplies, I think, at some point, if you have the oils and supply lines, and yeah, just a better late game army.
Even got the Burton to mix in to pick off some oils, potentially for free.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can't leave your Avengers like that. Oh. Bit of a misclicky. Bit of a misclicky.
Yeah, I think now.
Oh, now it's
by Eirkkk, just focusing down the Avengers.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
And then the MiG's a little bit late with the reclick. I wonder if he's not numbering his units again. Or his MiGs. Not even the MiGs.
Click on more of them. Maybe it was just like 1.
How do I do that?
I'll probably have to select, like, just drag a box over some of them. Oh yeah, he had some number. But yeah, very sloppy numbering overall.
And then nothing on his ground units. So what's his production on? He's not... So... In a previous,
it seems like he's working with a limited amount of hotkeys.
Yeah, because in a previous game he numbered production on like 1 and 2, but now he knows he has to number MiGs. He literally
not having my main production number.
No, he's not.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is some. What do you even call that? Mechanical issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the flow. You know, if you're literally group boxing to try and control your stuff here, Burton just went down to mines. You can't build without looking back, and he's just looked back now.
Having to scroll back to build, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also one of the things where if you want to get better, well, you need to change it, but you also gotta accept that at least for the first couple of games, you might actually play worse as a result.
Yeah.
But it is worth it in the long run if your intention is to get better.
Those Avengers, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That is it. And that is Eirkkk taking the lead again.
I mean, overall, pretty solid by Eirkkk. I think he played that game better.
Yeah, that build looked pretty smart, apart from the bunker positioning and maybe late tank hunter. Could have got him that oil slightly earlier. Comment from Hard Away there. I mean, to put things into perspective, these guys made, what was it, like the semi-final or of this semi-World Series? When there was like 64 entrants, so they can't be that bad. But this was my point I was saying at the start of the stream. If you're new to ZH or you're just a viewer but think to yourself, nah, I'm not going to play because I'd embarrass myself. Well, actually, there's probably a tournament for you somewhere because there are tournaments for every category. So, and we are seeing the different approach from DroGoN here, the one I potentially mentioned before.
We are
which
also
was
seeing a no eco, I think, by the USA, looking at the minimap.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to really hurt. So not only is he not doing the airfield variation, he's doing 3 supplies against a no eco, which is so committed. I wouldn't mind him driving that dozer to get the crate. It's just, you know, But anyway, $200.
Do you prefer the forward supply or the backward supply?
I think I'd just do it here, get my crate, and I could still build my stuff where it is. I also, he's trying to hide this, but I don't think I like that, really, because it's just delaying it massively. 2 trucks going down pretty quickly here. The Gats gets laser locked as well, and that is bad news for DroGoN. Eirkkk says he will get membership and focus on 1v1 in ZH, new resolution. I mean, not to promote or blow the channel up too much, but I actually think most people that have joined with the element of there being so many sort of semi-tournaments, challenges, whatever, I think most people have easily earned back the membership fee. You know what I mean? By winning a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is probably getting like 3rd in a semi-World Series or something, and then you paid for...
Like I was gonna say, a few months, yeah. Actually, what is the prize pool of this semi-World Series? I'll just have a quick look at it. It's actually a $250 prize pool for this semi-World Series, so yeah.
Where's the ambulance player? I guess he didn't want to make one because he's...
Oh, it's here. It's here. It's here.
Oh, he gets it now. Okay.
Now, does he number these? No. He does not number the no eco. He's numbered 1 and 2 War Factory, but not numbered the no eco. That is not. I mean, that's crazy to me because you need to be able to select them to then individually drag them back when you're microing them. But he has to select to just get them, doesn't he?
It's crazy to me. Eh? Like, it actually seems harder to play like this than it is to press Control 1 and just press 1 afterwards.
Yeah. Saf1 says, is there a new tournament? There actually has been a beginner tournament. Going back a while now. But you tend to get, like, the majority of tournaments actually are this level, semi-tournaments, more than any other category.
Yeah.
Like, even as an expert master player, you're in less tournaments than you are compared to being semis. And they even divide the semis into like low semi, mid semi, high semi. So what you're looking at now is like the high semi because they're like in the latter stages of the World Series. So yeah.
What is happening here, by the way?
I mean, this is Eirkkk taking the lead for the first time in the set here. I mean, he has nothing left, but these Vs alone are enough to sneak by. I mean, he could unload them here and just gun down the bunker, or he can do what he's doing, which is try to avoid it. That dozer, he's got excited by it, and he's got the dozer, yeah. He's got the dozer. And that is enough.
that's it for that one.
Yeah. Well, that is Eirkkk 1 away. As we go into game 9 on imminent victory. And it is an Air Force against Air!
Oh, that's your specialty.
That's nice. Well, I remember.
What would you do here?
Well, you say my specialty, but you're the one that came up with the strats that made it, how to say, very different, this matchup. Your standard is, of course, a 3MD drop. Oh.
Oh.
A little bit
what
of a...
made him weaken? Oh.
Oh. Oh. Well, I was going to say, your standard is usually a 3MD drop on a dozer, followed by an airfield, but DroGoN's gone for 2 supplies, 2 airfields, and Eirkk's been very...
It's actually funny, they're both going for a build that I think you wouldn't necessarily see if it was like a Masters MUO, right?
No, I'd never do this. I'd always drop, or as I say, do one of the builds you came up with, which are these crazy builds. One of which World Series was it? Was that final against Fargo, right? That might have been 3 World Series ago. Because, yeah, the last 3 have been me Vivid, me Size, then me Fargo. Yeah, so 3 World Series ago. The duel... War Factory with Cell CC. Quite an exciting one, yeah. And it was on this map as well. I did it on, I think. I think it was on this map. Imminent, yeah.
Getting a couple of Humvees across the map.
Welcome Spartacus to Wood. Bear in mind, just with regard to membership, the Wood membership gives you emojis and emotes. And it gives you actually access to a couple of videos, which was a mistake actually, but it gives you a taster of some videos. But for the full-on channel membership videos, that's the ExSquad, just to let you guys know.
Alfie is saying Summer's got the most tournaments because they have the biggest pool of players, vice versa for the ExSquad. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily an argument. Most of the people playing football are casual players, they're not getting the most tournaments. Most people playing tennis are casual players. Yeah. They're not getting tournaments.
I agree. Zero is the only RTS. I made the StarCraft 2 reference before, I think before you were in the call, where I did actually make Grandmaster level in StarCraft 2, which is top 200 Europe, and won a grand total of 0 prize money for doing that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't mind seeing this time.
No, I think it's good. But
yeah.
0 Hour is actually so fortunate compared to other RTS, where it is a thing where you get these different categories.
We see DroGoN leading the experience, and he's also gotten 3 Chinooks.
I actually quite like that.
I find that pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Yeah,
makes it very hard to gun one down, even if you do.
Eirkk's done something similar. I mean, we're entering a stage now. Oh, he's actually made a Comanche, so if he picks off a couple of raps, no, he doesn't. But we're entering a stage now where you're actually, I think, looking to group your raptors and kill raptors on the airfield with the control fire here. Or here.
Yep.
Like, initially it becomes shoot the Chinooks and, yeah, hit the economy, and then when you reach this stage, it's like, kill the raptors on the airfields, and you need minimum 4, plus control spam firing in that position. Sat1 says, who decides who are the players that can take part in semi-tournaments? I mean, undercover expert player tries to sneak in there and beat the others, really. I mean, there has been cases of that, people going undercover trying to do it, but there is actually a pretty good vetting process through game replays, and we've not had that for a while, I would say. So,
right. I mean, people are gonna get suspicious if a guy who isn't known shows up and wins like a pro tournament, right?
Yeah, and through gentle IDs and playstyles and detective work, I don't think any player has gone undercover in a tournament and got away with it. There's been subsequent bans and they've been found out, so yeah.
Right.
Tensor GG now rocks up in the chat and says, "Hold my beer."
Would have actually liked to see him play a bit more. He seemed pretty decent.
Right, we
That's
might
a
be.
lot of King
Is he just
here.
going to kill the CC, or is he? Oh, he's still going for supplies. Does get both.
I mean,
and that's
I
actually.
prefer that. I don't know about you. Well, you probably like.
Well, in that situation where there was no raptors on the airfield, then I don't mind it because it has broken Eirkkk now. The danger you've got though is when you go home and land, you might lose a full airfield, but does it even matter at this stage?
Right.
Oh, he actually goes for. He's going.
I think he needed to try to kill like some full airfields.
Yeah, I think so. He has actually hunted DroGoN, but we're in this weird situation of a broke Air Force versus a hunted Air Force. Yeah, and everything you lose now can't be replaced. One raptor went down there. Wow, and he killed a raptor and another airfield. So Eirkkk is reduced
himself.
to, what is he reduced to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 8 raptors, so actually 4 to kill one airfield, 4 to kill another.
I feel like DroGoN probably shouldn't land with all of his.
No, you need to keep like some
four
flying.
recharge.
Yeah.
And the other one's deflecting.
Yeah. They're talking about, Little Black Cat's talking about like sandbagging to get in lower level tournaments. The only player to actually sort of try and do that has been Shay, actually. He declined the expert badge for that reason, which is why I think you got to be careful on prize structure. I know you said before that winning a pro tournament shouldn't be worth more than coming 5th in an expert round robin.
Yeah, that will solve people trying to get into lower level tournaments.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's been a common thing in COR for years, where when you ask people, they're all pros. When it comes to a tournament,
they're all semis.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, you've seen players in pro and semi tournaments, which does make you scratch your head a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rangers might win this alone.
I mean, maybe not that bad of an attempt actually by Eirkkk overall. I mean, he was in a pretty hopeless position.
Yeah. Well, air mirrors can swing. If you get that kill on an airfield like that where there's a load of raptors, or you do what Eirkkk did, which was kill a CC and hunt, then all of a sudden you can do it. But DroGoN's keeping himself in the tournament right now, and he's got the best situation he can possibly have, which is at least it's a mirror, right? I mean, in random reverse, you can often be behind and just think you're out because it's a 1-1 matchup and that's that, but you can't get better than a mirror. And that is...
out now, but he did get him down to like one airfield.
Yeah, he tried good. And that is it. So it is 5-4. It's been a nice set between the Habibis. Closely, yeah, closely. And we now see the reverse. Eirkkk down in the south, keeping the pink colour. DroGoN up in the north. I wonder if Eirkkk numbered his raptors, actually. We'll check that out as well. And will they go for the same builds? I agree with you, I don't think either build was optimal. That's the one I would prefer, seeing a barracks. DroGoN's going to do the same, it seems. No?
Oh. It's the second time he's done this. Why? Like, why is he changing his mind? It's like he sees no barracks, so he decides...
And thinks, oh, I better...
Barracks?
Yeah, but...
That's so strange to me.
You're fine when the player's doing this, because you drop 3 MDs in the barracks there, you may even deny that dozer. Right. You set up a barracks, and you get up to the 5-6 MD mark, you can just literally outright win the game. Because you can stop the mining here. If the air as a response tries to make a Comanche and they mess up with their PLD versus that many MDs, you also kind of win the game outright as well. So
it's confusing to me because I think this is the build you're kind of hoping for when you're dropping the 2 airfield build, right? Like, I think that's the best case scenario for you usually. So why cancel your barracks upon seeing that?
Yeah. Brody says he's still fuming he wasn't allowed in this tournament. Yeah. I mean, I think there should be obvious, how to say, use of statistics where if you win a semi-world series, you're automatically never allowed in any semi-tournament ever again. That's one element. Whether you also include that for the runner-up, the finalist, could be an argument as well. That's how it works in other sports, at least, I would find. Oh, a little bit of fail here on the...
Yeah, we see the 3 Chinooks by DroGoN again on the left supply.
Yeah, like it. Also like the airfield positioning. Well. Yeah. Just going to answer a phone for a second.
Looks like Eirkkk grouping up a couple of Raptors. He's got 3, so might be looking to kick down a supply. Oh, there's a 4th one. Okay. Probably like to see that reactor being built right behind the CC, so the Raptors sometimes shoot the CC when trying to kill the reactor. And that's a nice snipe by DroGoN. Looks like Eirkkk also has 3 or 4 King Raptors. Hard to see on the minimap. Looks like 4. Is he clicking down a building there? Trying to guess by looking at the minimap. Yep, he killed the supply, so DroGoN's on no supply temporarily. And here comes the attack by DroGoN. Kind of back and forth here. Pretty fun. Oh, but Eirkkk not anticipating that. Oh, wow. Oh, that is very fortunate for Eirkkk. He should have lost that full airfield. That's actually pretty massive. That might have just decided the set between the two, because Eirkkk now kills the full airfield in return. And if I recall the score correctly, goes on to take the set. Funny how one little misclick there by DroGoN had so much impact on the outcome of the set.
Yeah, I just saw that whilst finishing the phone call. That was decisive, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he would have likely killed the full airfield, or I think it had at least 3 Raptors on it by Eirkkk, and then he would have not lost his own airfield in return, and he would have been way ahead.
Yeah.
And wasn't the score like Eirkkk being up by 1 game?
It literally would have gone to a decider, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how close the set was, and also how sometimes a bit misleading a score can be, right?
Yeah, look at this, look at this. He's circling, and oh! The Comanches could literally finish the... Oh, he's there. That's it. That is it.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, yeah. And Eirkkk goes on into the final, which I think is against Mazen, isn't it?
Yep.
So...
Happy Beamer.
Yeah, so that is 6-4. Well, that was actually very fun having you on, casting that. As I say, we did that a little bit ExSquad style with reviews and tips along the way, but yeah, we attempted to cast it too, so...
Also trying to adjust to the player level a little bit there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
More important to focus on the fundamentals, I think, when you're at the stage they're at.
Yeah.
And while people said they didn't play too well, I also thought they did a lot of things right. So
Yeah, for sure.
that is promising.
Great. Well, thanks for hopping on. We'll end that there. I'm about to go out actually myself as well. So nice to get that cast. Well played to both the players. Nice to see them going so deep into this tournament. And best of luck for Eirkkk in his next round. So yeah, hope he manages to catch this before the next round. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for hopping on. I think very helpful tips there. And see you soon. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye. Alright guys, we shall leave that there. Thanks for hopping on. Very enjoyable, great to have the expertise and feedback of Spalding. Always fun to see his thoughts on the game. And until next time, take care, GG's, and see ya.